protocol and how you incorporate this all into your life takes months. And if you try to do it sooner, if you try to do all the pieces all at once, you will crash and burn. And it's going to take you that much longer to want to do it again. And each time you're going to lose a little bit of faith. The one thing I need you to take away from this is the slower you go, the faster you will heal. You didn't get symptoms overnight, and you're not going to get rid of the symptoms overnight. You need to go and incorporate each of these changes one step at a time, so that not only you mentally can keep up with the change, but your body also needs time to keep up with the change, and so that you can see what's actually doing what. Because the way you do this protocol, we're going to talk about the peaks and valleys tomorrow, so don't worry, these are pieces of the puzzle that are all going to come together. The peaks and the valleys we're going to talk about tomorrow, and how to mitigate not going too low into a valley so that you don't have to climb your way out. It doesn't take so long to get out before you hit the next peak. Because healing from anything happens in peaks and valleys. There's up and down and up and down. So what screwed me up, and why it took me so long before I figured all this shit out, why it took me so long to heal, is because I didn't understand that healing happened in peaks and valleys. Healing is not linear. So every time I'd find myself going into a valley, my mindset was, I'm getting worse. I'm never going to get better. I'm going to be stuck in this fucking wheelchair for the rest of my life. And that mindset would then bring down my frequency, my vibration. I'd go into the pit of despair. And then it would take me months to go, no, I can do this. Let me start again. Hindsight's 20/20. So looking back, I can see how now every time I went into a valley, another peak was right around the corner where I'd feel like, oh my God, this is amazing. I can do that. But I didn't understand how to get through the valleys. And that's the most important part of this protocol, is understanding what the valleys feel like, because the valleys feel like an exacerbation. And all the pieces of the protocol come together where you need to sometimes increase or decrease, especially when it comes to the celery juice, because if you kill the virus too quickly, you're going to get overwhelmed with that dead virus, which is a neurotoxin and a dermatoxin. You're going to think you're getting worse when really you're getting better. It's just that you're not going to feel like you're getting better until you get that virus out. So the getting better is you're killing the virus. Your body's going to be able to handle and attack better and have more energy. But if you go, no, I'm screwing up, this protocol doesn't work, it's not doing anything, I'm getting worse, and then you go right back to your old ways, you are going to get worse and you aren't going to get better, and then it's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. See, told you it didn't work. All the pieces of this protocol have to come together beautifully and have to be done consistently while you have symptoms. Once your symptoms are gone, then you can ease up on it. However, the celery juice, you can ease up on that in the beginning, and you have to. All right, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. What to eat, what not to eat, what those foods actually are doing inside of your body. Because if you're like me, that's exactly why I do things, because I have to know what they're actually doing. Lemon water, celery juice, dairy-free, egg-free, gluten-free, and a heavy metal detox smoothie. Those are all the components of this protocol. That's how you're going to get the virus out of your body. So we already talked about the lemon water and the celery juice. We talked about what the virus is, what it's doing inside your body on day 1. Day 2 was the lemon water and the celery juice. Now 3 is all the things that we get to put inside of our body that's actually going to help our bodies. Just like we learned about helping our liver yesterday. What is actually going to help our immune system kill this virus? Because we want to make the immune system as strong as it can be to tackle this virus. That's what fatigue is. Your fatigue is your immune system not being able to keep up with the viral load, whether it's Epstein-Barr or any other virus. Think about how you feel when you have the flu. A couple weeks after the flu, you're still exhausted. Where does that exhaustion come from? Where does it come from? It comes from your body, your immune system, on the attack all the time. And because this Epstein-Barr virus is constantly floating around inside of your body, your immune system never gets a rest. It's constantly fighting. It always has been fighting. It's always been protecting you. Never once was your body attacking itself. Your body was never attacking you. It was always attacking a virus that was hiding inside of you. They're finally starting to see this now. It's finally becoming part of mainstream medical media, where they're saying we're seeing it. And I got questions yesterday about, well, my blood test said that my Epstein-Barr virus was dormant. Remember the stages. Stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are the stages that the virus goes through. The Epstein-Barr virus, not all viruses. This is a tricky fucker, and it's very smart. In stage 2, it leaves the bloodstream and it heads for an organ. Once it's in your organs, it's no longer in your bloodstream. So when you get a blood test and the doctor goes, oh, I do see here that you have antibodies, which means it's dormant, which means you once had the Epstein-Barr virus. That's what the blood test is going to show. Because what's left behind in the blood are the antibodies that were formed to fight the Epstein-Barr virus. But once the virus leaves the blood in stage 2 and heads for an organ in stage 3, all the blood can detect, all the blood test can detect are the antibodies. And that's why the doctors are saying, well, it looks like you once had it, but you don't anymore. Now we know better. Now we know it's in the organs. If they were to biopsy the organs, they would see the live virus. They're also understanding now how the virus hides in the B cells of the immune system. Not all the B cells, but it camouflages itself under the cover of a B cell, which is one of the hierarchy tiers in your immune system. And so your immune system, the smart motherfucker that it is, knows this. Doctors can't see it with the test that we use to see immune system activity, but the immune system knows that there are infected cells and there are healthy cells, and those healthy immune fighters go and attack the virus that is hiding under the cover of other B cells. So what does that look like on an MRI? It looks like the body is attacking itself. It's not. It's attacking the B cells. It's attacking the B cells that have been infected with the Epstein-Barr virus. So you're like, now, it's in my organs, it's in the B cells of my immune system. What the hell, Janine? How do I get rid of this? Just like with any living organism, this little fucker of a virus needs an environment, it needs food. We have to starve it. We have unknowingly been feeding this virus forever because we didn't know. Gluten, dairy, and eggs feed the virus. Yes, I know. Listen, I'm Italian, so if anyone had a hard time with this gluten-free shit, it was me. I remember when I first came across this information, I thought, gluten? First of all, what the fuck is gluten? And then I found out gluten's in like all the pastas, all the semolina is wheat. When you're Italian, you look for the semolina pasta because it is the best. And then I read that semolina is wheat, and wheat has gluten, and gluten feeds the virus. And my first thought, I swear to God, my first thought was, how will I raise my children? How am I going to raise my children if I can't feed them pasta? What? Does anyone remember pastina from when they were kids? Do you remember pastina? That was the thing that my mother always gave me when I was sick. It was a big, nice, warm bowl of pastina. And for those of you who don't know what it is, it's little tiny star pasta made from semolina. And it's what I always gave my kids when they were sick. And they were so young, and I thought, will I never be able to give them pastina? Listen, once you start getting rid of symptoms and the brain fog goes away and all of a sudden you have energy, you're like, give me a fucking pill. I'll take a pill every day. I don't need to ever eat again. But that's not realistic in this world. We need to eat. Whenever you're working with a gluten-free bread, especially if you get one of the cheaper kinds, you're going to want to toast it. Always toast it and always put butter on it. Always toast it and always put butter on it. You know, as an Italian, we were doing that anyway with our muffins, our corn muffins, our blueberry muffins. We were toasting and putting butter on it. You have to do that with any kind of gluten-free bread. You have to toast it. You have to put butter on it. You're going to find your brands that you really like. I can buy Udi's bread, and it's great. The kids don't even know that it's gluten. Well, they do now because they're 23 and 19. But they didn't even know it was gluten-free. When I first met my husband in 2018, he came over for dinner for a couple times. You know, one to meet the kids, and he came over for dinner in the beginning. And he didn't know that we were, I lost the desk. He didn't know that we were gluten-free for probably a couple months. He goes, what do you mean you're gluten-free? We've had bread, we've had pasta. What, you just gluten-free sometimes? I go, no, it's all gluten-free. He goes, are you kidding me? You're gonna find the brands that are going to not taste like gluten-free shit. Like pasta. I like the corn pasta. I don't like the brown rice gluten-free pasta. The corn pasta is yellow and it looks just like the semolina pasta, to the point where I bring pasta salads to the barbecues and I don't tell anybody. No one needs to know it's gluten-free. It's fucking delicious. Eat it. And everyone comments, oh, this is so good. And I go, oh, thank you. I don't say that it's gluten-free. No one needs to know. Everyone knows now. It's been 20 years. But in the beginning, no one needed to know. Okay, and this is where the power of a community comes in. Francis, thank you very much. There's another brand. Simple Needs is pretty good. Simple Needs bread. You're going to probably go through a period of trial and error. And this is what I tell everyone in the beginning to do. The first thing you're going to do when you are thinking about going gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free is you're going to come up with a list of all of your comfort foods. I want your fuck it foods is what I call them. When you're having a day, you're like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I can't do it anymore. And you just want to sit in front of the TV with a bucket of something. Find those foods first. Don't go get the healthy, gluten-free, egg-free, dairy-free foods. Don't even think about those yet. The first thing you're going to do is look for the cookies, the cakes, whatever you want, whatever your go-to foods is, like the ice cream. The dairy-free ice cream used to be so disgusting. Remember, I've been doing this 20 years, so they didn't have what they have today. But the So Delicious brand, they have a cashew base and they have a coconut milk base. Get the cashew base. It is so creamy. It is just as good, if not better. My husband says it's better than Ben & Jerry's. I'm willing to bet I will bet $1 to anyone right now. Go get yourself some So Delicious cashew milk based ice cream. They even have like cookies and cream and cookie dough, and it's all gluten-free. It's freaking delicious. There you go. Plant-based butter. Mayokos. I've never said it out loud before. Mayokos. There are plant-based butters that are absolutely delicious, better than regular tasting butter. When you go find your comfort foods first, then you're going to have your safety net. The safety net is important because you go into this going, I'm going to do it. I'm going to eat gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free, and everything's going to be fine, and it's going to be great, and I'm going to get rid of all my symptoms. And then you have one of those days where you're like, fuck it, I just can't do this shit anymore, whether it has to do with the diet or just life itself. You need to be able to reach for foods that are going to bring you comfort. And honestly, you can live on those comfort foods if you want to, and you're still going to heal. What a lot of people are very surprised to know is that, see, I've been at this 20 years. For the first 10 years of my healing, while I was healing my symptoms, I smoked the entire time Marlboro Lights. And the reason why, and no one knew, I was always a closet smoker, but when people did find out, the few people that found out, they're like, but you're so healthy. Why do you smoke? And I'd be sitting there going, because it's gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free, so leave me alone. You don't have to be perfect while you're healing from MS. If you're thinking, I don't have the discipline, I've never been able to complete anything in my life, these were always my thoughts, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. Remember, I smoked cigarettes the entire time I was healing, and I still healed. It's the gluten, the dairy, and the eggs. Would I have healed faster if I didn't? Probably, of course. But what I'm saying is you can still heal. You don't have to be perfect. In fact, you're not going to be perfect. You're going to screw up many times. I told you yesterday the story. Last spring, I still screwed up. I still ate gluten. Nothing happened. But you're still going to screw up here and there. And in the beginning, you're going to have consequences from it. And as time goes on, the consequences are going to be less and less until eventually you're going to screw up your diet and there aren't going to be any consequences. This is going to be an evolution in the way that you live the rest of your life, eating a healthy diet that doesn't contain foods that feed the virus. Now, when people come to me and they don't have MS and they go, well, what do you think? Like, how can I deal with COVID this winter? I go, well, don't eat foods that feed viruses. Gluten, dairy, and eggs are the foods that all viruses live on. The streptococcus bacteria that we talked about yesterday, that's dairy. I had a client who I said, she goes, well, I used to get strep throat all the time, but I don't anymore. I said, do you remember about when you stopped getting strep throat? And she said, she goes, I don't know. She goes, yeah, it was about 5 years ago. I said, what happened 5 years ago? What did you change in your diet? She's like, I went dairy free, but that's it. I'm like, oh, there you go. Dairy feeds the streptococcus bacteria. Gluten and eggs feed the Epstein-Barr virus. You don't have to know all the little ins and outs. All you need to know is that those three things are what you need to get rid of your symptoms. The first thing you do is you find your comfort foods. Then what you're going to do is every week you go grocery shopping, right? Whether you do it on the app or you go to the store or you send somebody. Every week, maybe 2 weeks if you're lucky, you go grocery shopping. When you're making your list and when you're thinking about what you need, you're going to go and pick out one item in your pantry, in your refrigerator. You're going to become familiar with the ingredients and you're going to say, oh, fucking wheat, look at that. There's wheat in there too. And then you're going to go find an alternative. Today, in 2025, there is a gluten-free alternative for everything. Now, oh, sugar, I was going to say that. Oh, is it better than Ben & Jerry's? Keisha, I'm going to bet you $1 right now. I'm going to bet you $1 right now. I want you to go get yourself some Ben & Jerry's and then, well, you've had Ben & Jerry's. Go get yourself some So Delicious coconut base, not the coconut base, the cashew milk base. Go test it and then you tell me if it's better than Ben & Jerry's. I'll bet you $1 that it is. And if it isn't, that's fine. I'm going to send you $1. All right, so someone asked about the sugar. White sugar sucks. White sugar does suck, right? Does it feed the virus? No. Does it add to the inflammation in your body because it's so freaking acidic? Yes. So don't live on it. I never avoided white sugar, but I made sure that if I did need sugar in something, I was going to use some kind of sugar alternative, like coconut sugar, much better for you. Or I would use maple syrup. I would use something that was a little bit better than the crappy white processed sugar. When I'm baking stuff, I use the granulated coconut sugar. These are things that you're going to eventually switch up. For right now, if you've already done gluten, dairy, and egg-free, and you're like, what about the sugar? Yeah, go switch it up. Go use maple syrup. Use coconut sugar. I'm trying to think of what else I'll use. I'll come to it. I'm sorry, but so many say how eggs are extremely healthy. Eggs are extremely healthy, Natasha. Eggs are extremely healthy. Here's the thing. Eggs are a complete protein. They're a very clean protein. They absolutely are. And when you get rid of symptoms, if you want to add those things back, because eventually your immune system is going to be so healthy and so strong, and there's going to be such a little viral activity inside of your body that you're going to be able to kill it with your immune system as soon as it becomes a problem or before it even becomes a problem. You will be able to go back to eating eggs, and you should, because they're very healthy. I don't care for them. I don't like them, but my husband eats them all the time. He's got a beautiful immune system. Does he have the Epstein-Barr virus? Probably, but his immune system is handling it. Ours isn't. So just while you're getting rid of symptoms, just stop eating the eggs for a little while. That's it. Try the 2 months with the gluten-free, dairy-free, and the egg-free, and then you can go back to eggs. Listen, there's nothing wrong with gluten either. People have said when they go overseas, let's say they go to Italy, and they eat the original heirloom seed of the wheat, they're fine. Even celiacs can go over to Italy and eat the wheat, and they're fine. It's over here around 1970 something. We modified the wheat plant so that we can harvest it at whatever here rather than waiting till it grew. Whatever we did to it, we were able to harvest it quicker. When we genetically modified that wheat, that semolina wheat, we screwed it up so bad that our body doesn't recognize it as food anymore. There really is nothing wrong with gluten, dairy, or eggs if it was in a state that it was meant to be. And I always laugh because people are like, well, Jesus ate wheat and he was fine. He did. He ate the wheat that, we're supposed to be eating. Not the genetically modified crap that our bodies don't recognize as food, and now viruses feed on it because it's chemicals and it's crap. So, Allison, honey, absolutely eat the honey. I always say maple syrup because my daughter hates the honey, but I just started a few years ago. I'll buy a big ass jar of honey in the beginning of the winter and put it in my lemon water in the morning hot, because who drinks cold lemon water in the winter? I don't. So I put it in the lemon water, the hot lemon water. Not too hot, don't boil the water, because you don't want to kill all the live stuff in the lemon, but just warm it up. And then I put the honey in. You don't have to worry about allergies come the spring. You don't have to worry about them. And honey is great for a whole bunch of other things. So yeah, honey is good too. Wait, I'm scrolling. How long do you believe to remove all these foods? How long do you have to remove all the foods for? And do you believe should do it all at once or gradually? Natasha, that's a great question. Don't do it all at once. Don't do anything all at once. You're going to do it gradually, and you're going to ease into this for you mentally and for your body to keep up with all of the changes. I know you want to rush because you want symptoms gone, whether it's for you or a loved one. You want the symptoms gone, but that's not how the body responds, and it's not how it doesn't respond well to it. You're going to do this very gradually. If it takes you 6 months, great, to evolve into this new way of eating, the longer it takes you to evolve into it, the more sustainable it's going to be for the future. If you decide in the next 3 weeks you're going to make all of the changes, that's not sustainable. And I know my ego is always like, well, I can do it, I can do anything. But I've seen it over and over again in myself and in hundreds of clients. You have to take this slowly. And unfortunately, when we're living a life of fucking misery because we have no energy and we have all these symptoms, we want everything done right away. So you go do you, and you go do what you think is right. That is my advice. Take as much time as you need to incorporate one thing at a time and evolve into this process. Wait, there's more you said. So, for example, my husband is probably going to want to have a few drinks over Christmas period. It's me as his wife that freaks out. Oh, yeah, no, don't freak out. And Natasha, I think we have a call scheduled, right? Don't freak out. Let him have a drink. He's going to notice a difference when he drinks beer as opposed to hard alcohol. Beer is all gluten. It's all gluten, and he's going to feel like shit the next day. Regular alcohol, any kind of other alcohol, have him drink that instead. Have him drink the wine instead. Much better. Yes, with the cigarettes, I also had my wine. I like my Cabernet. I like my red wine. So I did that too. You absolutely can heal. It's the gluten, it's the dairy, it's the eggs. And when people say, well, I don't feel any different the next day if I don't eat gluten, dairy, or eggs, it takes 2 months. It takes 2 months before you're going to feel a shift, and it takes 2 months of doing all of the things. This is why we work within a group, because it's very hard in the bubbles that we live in, and we don't have a lot of interaction with other people. It's easy for us to shame ourselves, beat ourselves up, think that we're not doing the right thing, think that we're getting worse when we're actually getting better. We just didn't know how to translate what our body was trying to tell us. When you do it in a group and you talk to people who are doing the same thing, and they're able to tell you, I went through the same thing, don't worry about it, you're actually getting better, give yourself a couple days. It just makes it that much nicer, and that's that much easier to go through it. So the gluten and the dairy and the egg free, you're going to find what works for you. Like in the morning, it's in the beginning for breakfast, it's really hard to eat a gluten, dairy, and egg free breakfast. So I use my shake. Actually, here it is. This is what I have in the morning. This is my heavy metal detox smoothie, and I put a shit ton of stuff in this. I also put 2 scoops of protein powder in it. This will last me well into 1 o'clock today. Yeah, and I had this at 9. Yeah, it's 10:30. It's still here. That will last me till 1 o'clock. So if you're struggling with breakfast, do your heavy metal detox smoothie. You could do the lemon water on the days that you do celery juice. Do celery juice 20 minutes later. Wait a couple minutes. And then you just want to wait a couple minutes, let everything get in, let everything get soaked in. And then do your heavy metal detox smoothie. Bam, you have that done. Then the rest of the day, you want to fill up your body with as many superheroes as possible. Why? Because you want to be able to fuel your immune system and make it strong enough to tackle the Epstein-Barr virus that you are now starving. And you also want to make sure that you're flushing your body of all the things that don't need to be in there. And that's what the superheroes do. So I'm going to tell you a story about superheroes. So there are these superheroes that you can fill your body with. And what these superheroes do is they get into the body, and as all superheroes have, they wear these capes. In the capes, their pockets are filled with free electrons. These electrons are able to be given to all the free radicals in your body. A free radical is a cell that's missing an electron. Do you remember science class? Cells, molecules, they all have a certain number of electrons and protons. If it's missing an electron, it becomes a free radical. What's a free radical? It's a precancerous cell. It causes inflammation. They are the ones that are causing the joint pain and the rust. Inflammation leads to oxidation. Oxidation is the rust. We learned that earlier in the week. So these superheroes come into your body wearing their capes. Their capes are filled with these free electrons. The electrons they're able to take the electron and go, oh, you're a free radical, you're an unstable cell. Here's an electron for you. Because what an unstable cell is, missing an electron, an unstable cell is unstable for a reason. It's going out throughout your body. It's like, oh my God, I need an electron, I'm missing an electron. And it steals an electron from one of your healthy cells. That healthy cell then becomes a free radical itself. Now it's an unstable cell. And because all of our cells are constantly replicating, now they're replicating as an unstable cell, and that's replicating. And because they're unstable, they're replicating faster than our healthy cells. That's why these unhealthy, unstable cells try to steal an electron. And when they do, that cell becomes unstable, and then the chain reaction happens, and that's why we have so much inflammation in our body. Free radicals happen, the loss of electrons happen through the chemicals that we bring in through our food, through our clothes, through our hairspray, laundry detergents. It's in the air, you can't avoid them, but like I said, your body is able to get rid of them. Here's another way to get an unstable cell back to a stable state. So all of these unstable cells in your body can become stable by superheroes, because the superheroes come into the body wearing their cape full of free electrons, and the superhero goes, oh my God, unstable over there, relax, I got an electron for you. You get an electron and you get an electron, kind of like Oprah at Christmas time. Everybody gets an electron. The superhero is able to give those electrons to those unstable cells, turning free radicals into now healthy cells without becoming unstable itself. And what it does is its only job is to fly through your body, throwing free electrons to all the unstable cells in your body, thereby bringing down the inflammation and making you feel good and look good. Your skin begins to glow because you have all of these now healthy cells as opposed to unhealthy, unstable, free radical cells. Now, how do you get these superheroes into your body? Well, there's all different kinds of superheroes. You have the red ones and the blue ones and the green ones in all different shades, right? Because superheroes come in all different colored capes. How do you get them in your body? You walk into the produce section of your grocery store, and everything that you see, all of those fruits and vegetables, those are all the superheroes. Those fruits and vegetables contain free electrons that are able to be given to unhealthy, unstable, free radical cells and turn them into healthy cells. Just by eating them. That's it. Just by eating them. The more superheroes that you get into your body, you will eventually become a superhero. So with all of your meals, if you can get a fruit or a vegetable, and that's why for breakfast, the heavy metal detox smoothie, this is just a shit ton. This is like the fire extinguisher that goes inside of your body and puts out all the fires. Imagine putting this into your body every single day. Imagine what it's going to eventually, the compounded effects of what that's going to do. Combine that with the lemon water that you are drinking every single day, helping your liver get those dead viruses out of your body. Imagine what this will do when you add these things into your everyday. You eventually become a superhero yourself. So here's what you're going to do when you're thinking about what to eat. There's going to be the foods that you want to, that are going to heal your body. I wish I could share my screen, but Facebook doesn't let us do that anymore. There are going to be foods that I say are the green, the goes, eat as many as you want. Those are your fruits, your vegetables, the protein, the healthy fats like coconut oil. All of these green foods, eat as much as you want. Then let's go through like the lights, the green, the yellow, and the red. Then you've got your yellow category. The yellow category is going to be your gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free processed foods. Those are the foods that they're not going to hurt you, they're not going to heal you. They're pretty much neutral. Eat them, sure. We live in a modern world. We need to eat these foods. We're going to have our fuck it moments, and we need to make sure that we have our comfort foods. That's going to fall into the yellow category. Then you have your red foods. The red foods are going to be the things that you eat very sparingly. Like, let's say alcohol at Christmas. You're going to do alcohol. You're not going to do alcohol every day because it's going to inflame the shit out of your body and you're not going to feel good. But there's going to be alcohol in there. artificial sweeteners and colors, I always say just try to avoid them, but they're going to get in there, and they're going to be the red foods. They're not going to feed the virus, but they're certainly not going to help your body, and they're not going to be that neutral either, because they're going to add to the inflammation, but they're not feeding the virus. What feeds the virus is, let's say up here, foods that feed the virus, the gluten, the dairy, the eggs. Don't feed the virus. Stay down here, green, yellow, red. Every time you eat, you have the opportunity to ask yourself, is this food going to heal me, or is this food going to hurt me? Just ask, how is this going to help me? Is it a fruit, a vegetable, a protein, something that's going to help my body in this fight that I've asked it to fight? Is it going to help me? Is it going to be neutral? Well, you know what? I'm sick of fighting right now. I don't have it in me. I just need a gluten-free muffin right now that's toasted with a shit ton of butter on it. Great, go do it. Because joy is the number one thing we're going for here. Joy is the frequency that allows the signal that leaves the brain to have enough strength to take the detour. We're going to talk more about this tomorrow. Where are my notes? All right, we're going to talk more about this tomorrow, but I want you to understand the joy factor. The peaks and valleys, we'll get more into that tomorrow. Why is it so important for us to experience joy? And when I talk about food, I always talk about joy because for me, being Italian, who else? Tell me if it's you too. Food is joy. That's why you got to make your food taste good. You got to find those really good gluten-free pastas and pizzas and all the things that make life fun. Friday night is always pizza and wine. Always. That's just how it is because that is my joy. Sometimes Saturday night, but Saturday night too. Why is joy so important? When we get stuck in this cycle of symptoms and I feel like shit, and every day you wake up and you feel like shit, your signal is leaving the brain at a very low frequency. When the signals leave at a very low frequency, they don't have the energy to take a detour. The detour is the path that your brain automatically makes when there is a blockage in the old pathway. That blockage is either a ball of negative energy that we store in our body, or it's a lesion. And a lesion is just a scary word for a scar that was left behind from heavy metals corroding the myelin. So the signal leaves the brain and either hits a scar or it can't get through the ball of energy that we've been holding on to, like the shit that we don't say out loud, the shit that we've been holding on to that we don't have anybody to talk to about that. Where does that all go? It stays in the body. That is actually something that can be measured, that can be seen in the body, that prevents the signal from going through. Now, it's okay because every brain has the ability to make detours around so that the signal gets around the scar or the blockage. So if the signal is going through down to your toes and it can't get through to your toes, which is why you can't feel them because of a blockage, the brain goes, oh, that's okay, we'll make an alternate route. And it starts to create the detour. The detour is always going to be built. That is just a feature of your brain. It's called neuroplasticity. It's always going to be built. Whether or not the signal takes the detour is up to you. And right now you're like, well, take the detour. I'll tell you to take the detour. The signal can only take the detour when it leaves the brain at a high frequency because it takes energy to take a new route. It's going to need the energy that comes from a high frequency. And when I talk about frequency, if you Google emotional scale, you'll see fear and depression. It's all down here. Up here is peace, love, joy. These are the higher frequencies, and they're higher frequencies because they're vibrating with more energy. That's why they're called higher frequencies. The low frequency, less energy. When the signal leaves with a high frequency, when you're experiencing joy or something close to joy, it is able to take the detour that your body has already made. The body already made the detour. You just need the signal to take the detour. And the way you do that is by experiencing joy. And there are an infinite number of ways to experience joy. And we're talking about one of them today, which is our food. So if you think you're going to go into this and you're like, I don't need to enjoy my food. I'm just going to eat gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free for the rest of my life, and I'll be fine. That's not the way it works. You can try it, but you might crash and burn because everybody has those fuck it days and those fuck it moments. And that's why we talk about going slow. Because when you go slow and you incorporate one thing at a time, what you're able to do is have something new become second nature. When it becomes second nature, you don't have to think about it anymore. You don't have to spend energy to go, what should I eat? What should I do? What should I buy? All of that is already done. Then you can go on to the next thing. Maybe the next thing for you is adding more supplements in. Maybe we're going to do monolaurin or fish oil. Everything happens one step at a time. So when we're doing the protocol, we start from the beginning, the lemon water, celery juice, heavy metal detox smoothie, gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, supplements. That's it. That's the entire protocol. However, everyone who does this protocol does it a little differently, and they have to do it differently because everyone's bodies and lives are different. So if you were to start everything all at once, you wouldn't know how you feel and how it's affecting you. Lemon water for some people is too much. I have a client who just started on 2 drops of lemon into her water, and she's like, that's all I can do right now, because a whole half a lemon into 16 ounces of water, it's too much for her body. So we start very slow. Once you have that lemon water and you're doing that in the morning, you're like, okay, I've gotten everything flushing, that's great. Now let me just go try the celery juice. Let me see what that's like. Or you're like, you know what, Janine, after what you said about the celery juice, I'm not going to do that. Okay, that's fine. I healed without celery juice. Celery juice makes it quicker, but it also makes it a little bit more aggressive because you're killing it, the virus, so quickly. Fine, don't do the celery juice. Go over to the heavy metal detox smoothie. Start on the heavy metal. Most people love the heavy metal smoothie. It makes them feel good. It tastes good. Other people get headaches and it makes them tired because there's a lot of antioxidants in there and there's a lot of detoxing that happens inside your body. So they'll take it and they're like, oh, I felt really tired the next day. Every single person is different. So what I say is keep up with the lemon water, stop the heavy metal smoothie, do that twice a week, or we're going to decrease the amount of ingredients that you're putting in the heavy metal smoothie, and we'll slowly work up to that while you're keeping the lemon water every day. The gluten-free, the dairy-free, and the egg-free. Once you start doing that, the gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, and the heavy metal, and the lemon water, you're going to start counting. You're going to start counting the weeks. Remember, the Epstein-Barr virus only lives for 6 weeks, and then it takes a couple weeks to get out of your body. Once you start starving it, taking away its food sources, the gluten, the dairy, the eggs, the heavy metals, you're weakening the shit out of this virus, which, a couple things, it's going to die faster than 6 weeks. It's not going to be able to replicate itself, either as quickly or at all, depending. And it's not going to be able to produce the smoke screen. And that smoke screen is produced to get the immune system, so the immune system can't see it. So it produces the smoke screen so it can evade your immune system. When you start starving this virus, all of those things happen. You weaken it. The immune system can see it. There's no smoke screen. It doesn't replicate as quickly. You're bringing down the viral load inside of your body while at the same time strengthening with the fruits and the vegetables and the heavy metal smoothie. You're strengthening your immune system. You're killing the virus with your immune system. And with the lemon water and with some celery juice, you're detoxing it out of your body. That's how you're going to get the Epstein-Barr virus out of your body. It's in your organs. It's in your liver. We start opening up the detox pathways. We start starving the virus. We start getting it out. We're understanding the peaks and valleys of healing and what it feels like to go through a valley. Okay, so we're starting the celery juice, right? Oh my God, I'm exhausted. I can't feel my feet. They're a lot more numb than they've ever been before. Okay, what'd you do yesterday? I drank 16 ounces of celery juice. I did good. Okay, yeah, you did good, but you did a little too much. Now your body's like, I have all this dead virus inside of me, because your virus is not just located in the gut lining. Think about this. Remember we talked about the lemon water getting through and going through the gut lining and into your organs? The celery juice does the same thing. So when you drink the celery juice, you may have the virus still in the gut lining, which means you're going to get the diarrhea, or you're going to have the virus already inside all of your organs, which means you're going to drink the celery juice and nothing's going to happen. Why? Because when you drink the celery juice and the celery juice hits the virus inside of the organs, it doesn't have a light at the end of the tunnel to evacuate immediately. It kills all of that virus, and then all of a sudden your body's like, oh my God, we have to get this into the excretory system. We have to get this into the lymphatic system. We have to work overtime to get this dead virus into the systems of the body that are going to eliminate it. That is exhausting. That is exhausting, and you will feel it. So even when you're doing all of these things to kill the virus, you're going to feel like, oh my God, I think I'm getting worse. I'm so much tired than I ever was before. Yeah, well, what are you doing? Are you killing the virus feverishly? Do we need to back off a little bit? Let the body go, okay, stop killing it for a second. I got to get this shit out. And all of a sudden you get it out. 3-4 days later, you're like, I feel so much better. Wow, that was amazing. I feel so much better. And I go, okay, that was a valley. Now we're going to go back again. So you're feeling that was a valley. You're feeling the peak. You're feeling good. Now we're going back into the valley. And that's how the healing happens. If you don't do each component one at a time, you will not know how it makes you feel, which means when you go into a valley, you're going to want to stop everything. And that's going to slow down your progress. In order to keep things that are working for you, like let's say the lemon water, you're doing, here's the lemon water. You're doing the lemon water every day. All of a sudden, you start the celery juice and you're like, oh God, I drank the celery juice. I'm exhausted. The stool is loose. Okay, you've killed a shit ton of the virus. Stop the celery juice. Continue with the lemon water. Okay, great. Couple days later, you're back to normal. You start the celery juice again. The whole time you were able to keep up the lemon water and keep those detox pathways open and helping your body get rid of the dead virus. Now think about if you were to start all of the things all at once, the lemon water, the celery juice, the heavy metal detox smoothie, you're like, tomorrow I'm doing it all. And all of a sudden you're like, holy fuck, I feel like crap. I'm so tired. I can't lift my head up off the couch. Before you would have thought, oh no, I'm getting worse. This is my MS. No, it's not actually. You killed the virus, your body is completely overwhelmed trying to get this dead shit out of your body, and you're exhausted because your immune system and your detox pathways are working so hard. You don't start everything all at once, because then you're going to have to stop everything all at once, because you're not going to know what led to that exhaustion, what led to you overkilling or killing the virus too quickly. So that's why you start with one thing at a time. See how you feel. Then you're like, all right, I know how I feel. I know I can only do 8 ounces of lemon water in the morning. Let me just stay there. Okay, great. You're going to stay there. Do you see how everyone does this differently? Every single person. Then you're like, all right, I'm going to start with a couple ounces of celery juice. You know what? I'm good at 3 ounces. I'm just going to stay there for a little while. Great. You're going to do that. Then you're like, let me go buy all the ingredients to the heavy metal smoothie. Then you start that and you're like, wow, I took that smoothie and I was exhausted. All right. Now we know. Don't do that smoothie for a little while. Continue with the lemon water and the celery juice. So you can continue what's working and you can back off what's too much, what's killing the virus too quickly. Are you seeing how every single person, everyone's body is different. They're all going to do this different. UCLA did a study where they grew they took a plot of land and they grew spinach on it, and they compared the nutrient profile of a bowl of spinach from that plot in 1956 and then that same plot of land, that same spinach in 1996. Now it's 2025, so imagine the difference. But from 1956 to 1996, they compared the nutrients in a bowl of spinach. And it would have taken, I forget the exact numbers, but it's something crazy like 40 bowls of spinach in 1996 to equal the nutrients and vitamins found in one bowl of spinach in 1956. If you notice, our fruit doesn't even taste like fruit anymore. Apples don't taste like apples anymore. They feel like apples in the mouth, but they don't taste like it. Bananas are very different. They're not very banana-y anymore. We're just losing all of the nutrients because we're overproduced. Everything in this country is just overproduced, and the soil doesn't have what it used to have in it. That's why we need to give our bodies extra. So in the world that we're living in today, there's an onslaught of chemicals coming our way. And there's less nutrients in our soil, in our food that we're putting in our body to help with that onslaught of chemicals. That's why we have to do extra. That's why we have to do the things that we're doing today that we didn't have to do 50, 60 years ago. Understanding what's really going on inside of your body is what's going to get you healed. More so than what you actually do. You have to understand the language of your body because your body is always telling you what it needs. We're all the same in here. We all understand that the body can heal. We just need the information to know what to do in order to heal our bodies. And once we get that information, we go balls to the wall. We're like, you know what? we can heal. I know we can heal. I'm going to do everything. And I think most of us struggle with balance and understanding that the body responds much slower than the mind. The mind wants to go, go, go because it's used to it, it's conditioned to it. The body is on its own timeline. And we have to learn how to honor the body by giving it what it needs, when it needs it, and learning how to slow down and accept that this is going to take time. It's not going to take months. It might take a year, it might take 2 years. And think about it, that time is going to go by anyway. And that's why I've created groups over the years, because I'm not enough of a library for your brain to be convinced that this shit works. I'm only one person. When you're in a group of women and you're seeing the success stories and you're hearing them in real time, oh my God, this happened. I got out of the car without my walking sticks, or I was able to get up and down the stairs by myself, Janine, what the fuck? These are the stories that build the library of evidence for your brain to go, this does work. I do have options. I'm not stuck. I can heal. If you want more of that support, if you want to do this with a group of women who are doing it at the same time and build that library of evidence that this can happen, that's what the MS Rebellion on Skool was created for. The price is low. I'm never going to charge an arm and a leg like some of those people do out there. I'm going to keep it at a price where you could afford it every month, because back when I was sick, I had no money. I had nothing, and there was no one to say, hey, don't worry about it. You know, for less than $20 a week, come into my group. I'll teach you everything, and you'll be doing it with a group of women who are doing the same thing. Oh my God, that would have been life-changing. But because I didn't have it and there was nothing out there like it, I created it. And I will always keep the price low, under $100, maybe right around $100. We'll see, because every time I open up the membership, I increase the price because there's so much more in there. You have access to like 2-3 calls a week. Not that you have to do all those calls, but they're in there for you because it's always increasing the library of evidence in your brain. It's constantly raising your vibration towards more joy. And we're constantly learning new ways to experience joy in our lives, and not just through our food, through how we talk, how we think, how we redirect those subconscious programs that have been spiraling in our minds for years. There's more on that, mindingyoursoul.com. There's more on that in there. And when I send out the recording tonight, I always have the link to the Skool program. It's going to be open until Friday night, Saturday morning. It's going to be open at that price this week only. After this week, the price is going to go up, and it goes up every time I open up enrollment, which is only 3 or 4 times a year, because I like to take in one group at a time so that we're all starting at the same point. Like the people who started in June, they've been in there for a couple months now. They're the Monday call. When you guys come in, you're going to be the Tuesday call. And then every other Wednesday, everyone's going to come together and we're going to do a call then. And in addition to that, 2-3 times a month, we have guest speakers come in with various different topics to increase our joy and get us talking and light our fires from within. And then in addition to that, we also have the limited series, which right now we're doing Joy is the Medicine. So every other week for 6 sessions, we have Brenda Winkler coming in and showing us how intuitive energy healing works and how breath work. And we did journaling and visualization in the clearing room, the last session. There's always something in there to bring you joy. Like I said, it's open till Saturday. You have a 7-day free trial, so you can get in there, check it all out, look around, and get out in 7 days if you want to. And I don't mind that at all. I want you guys to have a sense of what you're getting into before any credit card is charged. So just know that. Where's the link? I don't know. Right now it's on mindingyoursoul.com. I'll send it out with the email tonight too, with the recording of this. And I also edit down this recording so it's not a whole bunch of me talking to about the comments. I edit it down so it's just the information. It's a lot shorter. All right, before we wrap up, let's see, can we just see the celery juice? I answered that. Yes, that's what I've been saying. You can feel a detox. Well, I did, probably because I went too hard too much. The smoothie itself was wonderful. Sorry, I read that one. It's still live. This isn't live now. Is it? Actually, Natasha, it is. I'm still live, so if you have any questions, put them in. That's what happened to me. I lost the live connection. Yeah, Sorry about that. Facebook used to be a lot different with the lives, and now there's a lot of other. I can't live stream in from Zoom, which was a lot easier. But anyway, hopefully today you got it all coming together with the lemon water, celery juice, heavy metal detox smoothie, gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free. I'm going to throw in some gluten-free blueprint guides in the email tonight. And I'm also, last night's email, check your spam and your promotions folder if you didn't get it, or just do a search for MS Rebellion. What I did was I took some of those testimonies from the rebels who are in the Skool program now. They wanted you to know a couple things. There's a couple personal notes in there from them about what it really is like inside there, just in case you're on the fence. They know how they felt, and they're so glad that they took the plunge, and they're in there because it really is, it's life-changing. It's a magical little place. And I'm very proud of it, and I hope you decide to come in, because we can do so much more of this. There's so many more details in it, to it, and there's also a lot of joy to experience while you're going through the healing process. You don't have to do it alone. You do have choices. You can heal, and we will show you how. All right, that's how I like to end it. Tomorrow we'll be talking about the peaks and the valleys, and somehow I'm going to share what it looks like inside the rebellion. I don't know how, but I'm going to figure it out before tomorrow. Today's homework was posted at 10:30, and the question was, how many fruits and vegetables are you going to eat today? Or have you eaten today? But it's early, so are you going to eat today? It's in there. Answer the question if you want a chance to win the $20 gift card. And Keisha, I'm going to go look up your email address right now and get that card over to you. Thanks for playing. And we have one more day. We have one more day tomorrow. So get your questions in. I've opened up my schedule. It is filling up. I think I have like 5 or 6 calls on Friday. But go to mindingyoursoul.com and book a free discovery call. If you're like, listen, a group is not for me, great, but I still have some questions, that's what the free discovery call is for. It's not a freaking sales pitch. I don't have anything to sell you. I just told you about the group. That's all there is. If you just have questions and you want to know, for you, what should I do? I've been feeling this, or you just need some direction or clarity on something, go ahead and schedule that free discovery call. I'm here for you. I'm here to answer your questions, because the suffering is completely unnecessary. The symptoms are completely unnecessary. And once you know that, you just need a little guidance and a little direction to get you over that hump. Because once you experience what energy feels like, what living a symptom-free life feels like, you won't be able to shut up about it either. You will be doing exactly what I'm doing, is getting out there, being like, oh my God, the suffering didn't need to happen. You can heal from this despite what the medical industry is telling you. They're just now coming out with Epstein-Barr virus. There's evidence to support that is the cause. Your body might not be attacking itself. It hasn't. It never was, and it never will be. You can heal. All right, guys, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you same time tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.